to this new weather video. Your host, Ivan Kamau. Yes, storm fatigue is real. I know you can feel it. I know it feels relentless, and you're just like, Alvin, I hope you're here to give us good news today. And if you looked at the thumbnail, of course, we got to talk about, yet again, I know, another potential for stronger storms this coming Wednesday. But the good news is every storm system is different, and it is never a guarantee. So don't start freaking out about it. That's not the purpose of today's video. But of course, we're also going to be talking about temperature trends a little bit later. Of course, today, just on this Sunday, would you guess, we have strong storms we're dealing with across the country. Parts of Illinois, Indiana, parts of Kentucky, Tennessee, even down in Mississippi, dealing with stronger storms on today, March 30th. And of course, you could only hope we're going to deal with quieter weather over the next couple of days. But unfortunately, this coming Wednesday, we have another potential for stronger storms centered over the same areas over and over again. Missouri and Illinois, and even down in Arkansas. And I know it feels relentless, you're tired of it, but this is the reason why we talk about you always want to have a plan. Even before severe weather season started, you noticed how I started talking about the NOAA Weather Radio and its importance even back in February. So you definitely always want to have a way to receive warnings. And this goes for any time of the year, not just with this Wednesday, because it isn't a guarantee. And of course, there are several possible scenarios with this, because we do have our lift, we do have our shear. There are some questions about our instability, but we do have an ample amount of moisture. And there are two possible scenarios. We could have either storms coming in early Wednesday morning, or we have a round coming in during the afternoon and evening. Of course, timing, the placement of the storms, it's really to be determined, but it does look like a slightly higher threat than what we're dealing with on this Sunday. But again, don't freak out about it. I'm just the messenger to talk to you about are the frequent amount of severe weather events we've just been dealing with, not only here in Missouri and Illinois, but across the country. As you've noticed in these outlooks, it's just like Mother Nature wants to just target the same areas over and over again. And I know, it's relentless, but we're going to get through it. Of course, it's spring and we still have summer to go. And some years and some times when we deal with severe weather, we get an uptick in spring, and then later in summer it gets quiet. And then in the winter, we start picking up again. Remember that outbreak in December of 2021? Of course, every summer is different. We are expecting an active spring this year, and of course, we're already seeing it targeting the same areas. So we'll see how Wednesday plays out. The ingredients are there, but we do have some small limiting factors, like if we have cloud cover, that could shut down the threat or at least limit how strong the storms might get. So we'll see what happens. Definitely stay tuned over on my Twitter page, Instagram, Threads. I will keep you updated. Now, of course, you want to always have multiple ways to receive warnings. I know I talk about this in every single video, but we're expecting an active spring, so we don't really have a choice. You definitely want to replace your batteries on your NOAA Weather Radio if you have one. Alerts come immediately, and yes, I know I have my phone down there or a notification from someone's phone on a tornado warning, but what happens if your phone dies? NOAA Weather Radio, you put batteries on them, they're going to last a whole lot longer than your phone, so you definitely want to get them. So how do you get them? You want to go to midlandUSA.com. There you're going to find some wonderful NOAA Weather radios. They're not that expensive, I promise, so definitely get them. Keep your family safe during the 2025 severe weather season. So again, you definitely want to stay safe this year. Search Midland USA on your phone, on your tablet, to get yourself a NOAA Weather Radio. And I know I keep talking about it, but if you haven't taken action yet, you notice how our severe weather this season is kind of relentless. Just breathe, we're going to get through it. But just having a NOAA Weather Radio, and of course multiple ways to receive warnings, because even the NOAA Weather Radio can deal with an outage as well, will keep you and your family safe. Again, monitoring Wednesday, but don't freak out about it just yet. I'll keep you updated over on my Twitter page. Now, you want to talk about something different? Let's talk about temperature trends getting into April of 2025, and this month actually marks a year since the Great American Solar Eclipse that went from Texas all the way through the central U.S. and even all the way up in New England. Remember, it's already been 11-12 months since that great event. And you can see getting into April, we have something a little bit different. As you can see, below normal temperatures favored across the U.S. Something nice that you might want to hear about April is that I'm also seeing signals for below average precip, which would be a good thing, but they update this every day. So just take that with a grain of salt. We still can have severe weather in the month of April, and it's still typically active every single year in the month of April. Not saying that's how it's going to be this year, because you can see temperatures are trending slightly lower than they should be during the month. At least this is what the Climate Prediction Center is thinking. Even through, again, the early to even middle portion of April, we're thinking below average temperatures are going to dominate, especially over the central and eastern portions of the U.S. Of course, this takes us through the 13th. They update this every single day, so you definitely want to stay tuned for updates. And I wish I could just talk to you about temperature trends just like I did in 2024 with all my other videos, but unfortunately, we have to keep talking about these potentials for storms and even your precip outlook for the month of April. We are in what is called neutral mode. La Nina is officially starting to come to an end, but of course, it can always come back. It's not always official, but of course, our Climate Prediction Center has said that we're entering into neutral mode over the next couple of months, and that means that above normal precip would be favored across our region, especially to the northeast of the St. Louis area, sort of dominating the state of Illinois, as you can see in this graphic, where below normal precip is favored across parts of the south, above normal precip favored over parts of the Pacific Northwest for the month of April 2025. So, of course, again, just like I said, I wish I could talk about temperature trends and precip with you all month long, but of course, the month of March has all been about severe weather, recapping those storms on March 14th, and I'm not seeing that for this coming Wednesday, but it does look like a slightly higher potential for storms than we did have today on this Sunday, March 30th. So don't be scared, be prepared. Of course, you've probably heard that saying going along on social media. That is the best way for you to stay safe. To just be prepared, get the message. I'm the messenger. I'm going to give you the message. No, it isn't a guarantee. We're going to get so many changes between now and Wednesday as well. So again, you want to follow me over on X. The link will be down in the description. Again, also search Midland USA on your phone. That's where you can get yourself a NOAA Weather Radio. Again, they're not that expensive and they're lifesavers no matter the price. But until then, I'll see you over on X as long as I can get out there for my outdoor weather report.